everyone. So in our last lesson, we were looking at solving systems of equations with substitution when they gave us either y equals something or x equals something. This time around, what we're going to do is we are going to solve multi-step equations. However, systems of equations. However, we have to use multi-steps in order to get to use substitution. So they will not say y equals or x equals, and if they do, it will be the same value. So let's look at what exactly I mean. So in this problem, example A, it says equation 1 is 2x plus 3y, and it equals negative 3. Equation 2 says 2x equals y plus 5. So when you look at this, you have two equations, and neither of them says equals x or equals y. So our job is to figure out what it equals, okay? Or solve for a y value. So we can start with equation 2. And we are going to start with equation 2 because it already kind of says x equals, or we can just remove so that it's a y equals mx plus b. So right now we don't have y equals mx plus b, and we want to make that happen. So 2x equals y plus 5. So when we look at this problem, we could solve for x or we could solve for y. It's totally your choice what you want to solve for. When I look at this, I see if I move this 5 over to the other side, I have y equals. So I'm going to draw my line, and I'm just going to subtract 5, and now it says y equals 2x minus 5. So I have a y equals that I can use to sub in to equation 1. Okay, so here's our new equation 2 right here. And we will come back and use this when we solve for actually solving for what y is. But first we need to know what x is. So we're going to take this and put it into the first one. All right, so equation 1 says 2x plus 3y equals negative 3. We're going to take this y and we're going to fill it in with the information right here. So now it says 2x plus 3 times y. So let's fill in 2x minus 5. And now we're ready to solve. We want x's on one side, numbers on the other. So distributive property, 3 times 2 is 6x. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Drop down the rest of this, and now we have 8x minus 5, and that equals negative 3. All right, here we go. We're going to add 15 and add 15. This gives us 8x equals positive 12. Oh my gosh, I almost took away things that were not there. Okay, now we are going to divide by 8. We want to get x by itself. So let's divide by 8. Divide by 8. So x equals 12 divided by 8 is 1 with 4/8 left over, or 1.5, or you could do 1.5. Okay, now that we know that x is 1.5, we are going to take 1.5 and we're going to put it in to this equation here so that we can solve for y. So far our solution is x equaling 1.5. So now we need to solve for the y value. So 2 times 1.5 minus 5 equals y. All right, so here we subbed in this 1.5 right here. We subbed it from here to here. That was x. So 2 times $1.50, or 2 times 1.5, gives us 3. 3 minus 5 equals y. So y equals -2. There we go. So our solution is -2. Same steps as yesterday, over and over. The only difference in this equation is that I was not able to solve first until I figured out what y equaled. Once I knew what y equaled, then I was able to solve for x and then figure out y all the way down without any variables. So my solution, where the two lines are going to cross over each other and x marks the spot, is going to be at 1.5, -2. Okay, so there is one problem. That is a lot of work for one problem, but you are seeing how the two linear equations can work together to solve for 1 point so that we have a solution. All right, our next example that we're going to do is a little different. This example, example B, is a little bit different because in this example, we will have, we're going to have 2 y values, and our job is going to be to solve for x. Okay, so equation 1 is y equals x minus 8, and equation 2 says y equals 2x minus 14. Okay, so we don't have anything that's weird here. The only thing that's weird is that it's a y equals and a y equals. So what we're going to do is, this is saying that y is equal to y. So whatever we have, this y has to be equal to this y. So we're going to set them equal to each other. So we'll start with equation 2 and put equation 1 in there. So y equals 2x minus 14. I'm going to take the other y from equation 1 and I'm going to put it here. So now this is going to say x minus 8 equals 2x minus 14. So I'm using both systems. I've replaced the y with x minus 8 from equation 1. So this is like saying equation 1 is equal to equation 2. And now we're ready to solve. We want x's on one side. We want numbers on the other. So in order to do that, this is like saying at the beginning of the year when we looked and we had like variables on both sides. That's exactly what this is. You have variables on both sides. You need to get variables to one side, numbers to the other so that you can actually solve. So I'm going to subtract the x and subtract the x. So let's change this. So x is over here and numbers are over here. And the reason why I did that is because I don't want to work with a negative number. That's the only reason. Or a negative x. So 2 minus 1x just gives me x. But I still have this negative 14. And I have this negative 8. So now I'm going to do plus 14. That's going to go away. And plus 14. And I am solving for x. So I have negative 8. I add 14. So this is like saying I have positive 6. So x is positive 6. So I'm already partway to my solution. I have x equaling 6. Now I just got to find my y value. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to use equation 1 because I haven't used it yet. And I'm going to plug in my x value. So it says y equals 6 minus 8. And I know that 6 minus 8 is negative 2. So y equals negative 2. That is done. So in this instance, the difference here was that you had 2y equals. So we just used 1 and set it equal to equal. Up here, in this problem, in order to solve it, you had to first find either a y equals or an x equals, and then move forward from there. Okay, it is your turn right now to do a try it, and then we will do some practice work. All right, so let's check out the try-its that I have for you. Try-it number 1. All right, so try-it number 1 says y equals negative 3x plus 2. And equation, so that's equation 1. Equation 2 is just y equals 2. Okay, so there's try-it number 1. And then I'm going to write try-it number 2 down here. And hopefully we have enough space to solve. Okay, so try-it number 2. Try-it number 2 is... don't really like any of those try-its. They always give you mean ones. All right, I guess we'll do this one. Equation 1 is 2x plus 2y equals 1. I know it's really long, I'm sorry. And equation 2, negative x plus 2y equals negative 3. Okay, so go ahead and hit pause right now so that you can solve both of these. Hit play when you are ready to see the answers. And you've got this. You can do this. All right, here we go. All right, this one, y equals that and y equals that. So I'm going to take equation 1 first this time, and I'm going to say 2 equals negative 3x plus 2. There we go. All right, now I'm ready to solve. Minus 2 minus 2. Things are disappearing. Divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3. Well, we know here that x is going to equal 0 because 0 divided by negative 3 is just going to give us 0. We know that that slope is not a slope. Okay, so we have 0, x equals 0. All right, and we're going to go ahead and plug that in now. to our equation number 2. Oh, what did I do? Oh, we don't need to plug it in. Oh my gosh, Miss Englander, come on. This is here. This already just tells us that y equals 2. So our solution, this was a weird one, and I'm sorry that my brain was so tired that I looked at it crazy. Our solution is x equals 0 and y equals 2. Whew, there was nothing to substitute in, and it freaked me out because that's all we've been doing. Okay, so our solution is 0, 2. That was a weird one. Okay, now equation or number 2. All right, on number 2, we're going to have to do some steps before we can get to the y equals. So I'm going to start here with equation 2 on this one because it looks like x can already be by itself somehow. So let's do that. So I have negative x plus 2y equals negative 3. I'm going to work on y equals mx plus b. So I want y equals mx plus b. So let's move some things around. I am going to add x and add x. So this gives me 2y is equal to x minus 3. Now I'm going to divide by 2 and divide by 2. So really this says y equals 1/2 x minus 3 over 2, or 1 and 1/2. Okay, so we could make that 1 and 1/2. 1/2 x minus 1 and 1/2, or 1.5. I don't know. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put this into equation 1. So equation 1 says 2x plus 2y equals 1. I'm going to take my y and plug it in here. So I have 2x plus 2 times 1/2 x minus 1.5, and it equals 1. Okay. Woof! There's so much going on in this problem. All right, now we're going to distribute. So 2 times 1/2 is 1/2 of x. And no, it's not. 2 times 1/2 is 1. Oh my gosh. And 2 times negative 1/2 equals negative 3. That's 1 plus 2x. Okay, so we get 3x minus 3 equals 1. Still solving. Plus 3 plus 3. 3x equals 4, or x divide by 3. X equals 4 over 3. All right, so now we are ready to put these numbers into our equation 2. So we know that x equals 1 and 1/3. All right. Where am I at here? All right, so now I'm going to come back over here to this problem because there are so many steps here, and we're going to put this in. So this says, now I ran out of room. Let's use a different color because there's so many colors here. This is going to come up to here. So y equals 1/2 of 4 over 3 x, no, not x, plus minus 1.5. Okay, so to multiply, we're just going to multiply straight across. So 4 over 6 minus 1 1/2. 1 1/2 is the same thing as, did we have a fraction? Oh yeah, we did. -3 over 2. So y equals, we got to make these into proper denominators here, common. So I'm going to times 3, so that gives me 9 over 6. 4 minus 9. Why is this one still going? So this is a -5, 6. So y equals -5, 6. Holy moly, that problem was really evil. And I'm sorry that that problem happened. That was ridiculous. So, there you have it. Your answers for your try-its right there. Our solution totally is 1 1/3, comma, -5, 6. And you know what? This type of problem right here, if you got this wrong, it's totally okay. We will keep practicing and we will try these ones again. When they start throwing in all of these decimals and stuff, that's not really fair to you to be able to check your understanding when you've just learned it. So hopefully the big ideas practice work will be a little bit easier to understand. All right. You may come back to the Google Meet if you have any questions, or you can head on in and do your practice work. As always, I appreciate all of your hard work and effort, and make it a great day.